Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I be to all. Okay, today I with my partner will present about our group assignment for subject power system. Okay, first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Arif Hazim bin Tajuddin, number matrix AA190125. And my partner, Loman Hazim bin Yusri, AA190631. Okay, without wasting any time, let's go to the introduction. What is power system? The electric power system is a composite component which consists several stages: generation, transmission and distribution system. It uses the form of energy such as coal and diesel to convert into the electrical energy to use by the consumers. The electricity produced by generator at generation station is transmitted to the transmission line. The voltage of the electricity must be stepped up from the generator to the transmission line and then stepped down to the distribution system. The distribution system normally called as substation, where the distribution lines carry the electricity to the consumer, for instance, homes, offices and factories which require low voltage electricity. Okay, next let's go to the question A. Explain in detail with the aid of appropriate block diagram the operation of the following generation system to generate electricity: solar, oil, wind and tidal. The description must be included in the advantage and disadvantage for each generation system. Okay, first let's take a look at solar. Solar system, or more synonymous as solar photovoltaic system (PV), is a system uses sunlight as an energy source to generate electricity. The system uses chemical reaction methods of semiconducting materials. When light is emitted on surface of a PV solar panel, the light energy will convert to electrical energy in the form of direct current flow. Current flow is controlled by a charge controller that controls the charge which goes into the energy storage battery. Energy storage battery or battery banks function as storage and suppliers of the direct current electrical energy. An inverter converts direct current waves into waves alternating current for domestic electricity. Okay, now the advantages of solar system. First, clean and silent. Solar system do not release any harmful air or water pollution into the environment, deplete natural resources or endanger animal or human health. Second, renewable source. When we use solar energy to produce electricity, we do not deplete or alter the resource. Number 3, the operating and maintenance costs are also very low, as well as the useful life. The length can be reached up to 30 years. Okay, lastly, solar energy can be made available almost anywhere there is sunlight. Okay, for disadvantages for solar system, some toxic chemicals like cadmium and arsenic are used in the PV production process. The environmental effects are minor and can be easily controlled through recycling and proper disposal. Solar power is a variable energy source with energy production dependent on sun. Solar facility may produce no power at all some of the time, which could lead to an energy shortage if too much of region's power comes from solar power. Number 3, solar panels efficiency levels are relatively low, between 14% until 25% compared to the efficiency level of other renewable energy systems. And lastly, tall PV panels have no considerable maintenance or operating costs. They are fragile and can be damaged relatively easily. Additional insurance costs are therefore of ultimate importance to safeguard a PV investment. Okay, number 2, oil. A turbine used to rotate the generator. Turbine may be two types: steam turbine and water turbine. In a thermal power station, oil is burned to produce system which in turn the device drives the steam turbine, hence the generator turboset. In a thermal power plant, coal is burned to produce high temperature and high pressure steam in a boiler. The steam is passes through a steam turbine to produce rotational motion. The generator mechanically coupled to turbine, thus rotates, producing electricity. Okay, next, the advantages of oil power system. Oil is one of the most abundant energy resource. Second, liquid form of oil make it easy to transport and use. Third, relatively inexpensive. And number 4, oil has high heating value. Next, for the disadvantages. Number 1, oil transportation can lead to spills causing environmental and ecological damage. Number 2, oil recovery processes not efficient enough. Technologies need to be developed to provide better yields. Number 3, oil burning leads to carbon emission. And lastly, oil drilling endangers the environment and ecosystem. Okay, next, number 3, wind power system. Wind power stations are usually located in upland areas prone to conduction constant wind. Typically, the required wind flow speed is between 80 to 100 meter per second and turbine rotational speed between 15 to 20 rpm. The flow of wind energy will rotate the connected aerodynamic blades to the gearbox and main shaft of the turbine. There is a brake system that serves to control the rotational speed of the turbine, or known as a controller. The system then connects to a generator, then acts as a device which converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. This electrical energy is stored first in a storage battery intended for store and stabilize the output voltage of electrical energy. An inverter is used to change the waveform of direct current to alternating current wave for energy use domestic or industrial electricity. Okay, let's look the advantage of wind power system. Clean sources. Wind system do not release any harmful air or water pollution into the environment, deplete natural resource, or endanger animal or human health. Second, renewable source, it not require burning any fossil fuels to operate. Third, low operating costs and do not require much maintenance over the course of their lifetime. And last, space efficient. The land used for wind turbines can often also be used for other purposes such as farming. Okay, next, for the disadvantages of wind power system is intermittent. The wind energy isn't always available for dispatch in times of peak electricity demand. Second, noise and visual pollution. While turbine can be noisy when operating, and because it need to build up high, it will interrupt scenic landscape. And lastly, number 3, a wind turbine blades are very large and rotate at very high speed. Unfortunately, their blades can harm and kill species that fly into them like birds and bats. Okay, next, tidal power system. Tidal energy is created using the movement of our tides and oceans, where the intensity of water from the rise and fall of tides is a form of kinetic energy. Tidal power surrounds gravitational hydropower, which use the movement of water to push a turbine to generate electricity. The turbines are likened to wind turbines, except they are positioned underwater. Electricity is generated when the mechanical energy of tidal currents turn turbines connected to a generator. The generator produces electricity. Okay, next, the advantage and disadvantages of tidal energy. Advantages. First, predictable energy output. Tides are predictable and constant because of gravitational forces only need to access the low or high tide. Second, as technology advances for tidal, it will get increasingly cheaper and efficient. Third, protects coastal flooding due to the stability of the rock emerged under different design conditions. Fourth, equipment and facilities of tidal power can last a lot longer and be more cost competitive than other renewable technologies. Okay, for the disadvantages. First, it is currently expensive to construct tidal power plants as they require high capital investment. Second, environmental issues such as habitat change, particularly with tidal barrage. 3. Limited energy demand. Powerful tides only happen normally 10 hours out of each day. And lastly, difficult to provide tidal energy to coastal communities, as the energy produced by the tide is often a long distance from where the electricity will be used inland. Okay, for question B and C, I will let my partner Luqman Hazim bin Yusri to present. That's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Luqman Hazim bin Yusri. My matrix number is AA190631, and I will explain question B. The electrical power system in Malaysia is a complex interconnected system described in details. Number one, the main reason for the interconnection of electrical power network. Two, types of interconnection system in electrical power system. Okay, number one, the answer is the interconnection of the grid provides the best use of power resource and ensures great security to supply. It makes the system economical and reliable. The generating stations are interconnected for reducing the reserve generation capacity in each area. If there is a sudden increase in load or loss of generation in a zone, then it borrows from the adjacent interconnected area. But for the interconnections of the network, certain amount of generating capacity, known as the spinning reserve, is required. The spinning reserve consists generator running at normal speed and ready to supply power instantaneously. Number two, for high voltage alternating current HVAC interconnection, in HVAC link, the two AC systems are interconnected by an AC link. For interconnecting the AC system, it is necessary that there should be sufficiently close frequency control on each of the two systems. For the 50 Hz system, the frequency should lie between 48.5 Hz and 51.5 Hz. Such an interconnection is known as synchronized interconnection or synchronous tie. The AC link provides a rigid connection between two AC systems to be interconnected, but the AC interconnection has certain limitations. For high voltage direct current HVDC interconnection, the DC interconnection or DC tie provides a loose coupling between the two AC systems to be interconnected. The DC tie between two AC systems is non-synchronous, or we call asynchronous. The power swings in the interconnected AC networks can be damped rapidly by modulating the power flow. Nowadays, the customary grids are replaced by the smart grids. The smart grid uses the smart meter and appliance, which improves the efficiency of the system through the DC tie. Thus, the stability of the system is increased. Okay, for C, explain in detail the components of power system as a state below. Number one, generator and power transformers. Number two, transmission lines and substation transformers. Number three, distribution transformers and loads, residential, industrial, and commercial. Okay, number one, the answer is electrical generators are stand-alone machines that provide electricity when power from the local grid is unavailable. Industrial generators are often used to supply backup power to facilities, business, or homes during power outage, but they can also be used as a primary power source in areas where a local electrical grid is unavailable or difficult to access, such as mining and farming operation or even new developments and construction. It is possible to buy a generator for just about any need. Some electrical generators are small, portable devices that can use for camping or hobbies to provide small amounts of power for just a few devices. Others are permanent installations that can power an entire house. Industrial generators are even more powerful, capable of maintaining full power to manufacturing facilities, hospitals, and office complexes. There are diesel generators, natural gas generators, propane generators, and biofuel generators. Power transformers transform electrical voltage from one level of phase to another, usually stepping down voltage ratio from a higher to a lower level. This is accomplished through the principle of magnetic induction between coils to convert voltage or current levels. Power transformers include a broad range of electrical transformers, such as auto transformers, control transformer, current transformer, distribution transformer, general purpose transformer, instrument transformer, isolation transformer, and potential voltage transformer. Number two, transmission lines and substation transformers. The primary function of transmission lines structure are to provide mechanical support to conductors. This is achieved by maintaining mechanical integrity without permanent structural deformation under ultimate load condition, while preserving structure geometry to retain operational electric clearance under prescribed serviceability and ultimate load condition. The transformer changes the relationship between the incoming voltage and current and the outgoing voltage and current. Substation transformers are read by their primary and secondary voltage relationship and their power carrying capability. For example, a typical substation transformer would be read 99, 13 kV and 20 MVA, meaning the primary or high voltage is 69 kV, the secondary or low voltage is 13 kV, and the transformer has a power rating of 20 MVA or 20,000 kVA. Okay, number 3, distribution transformers and loads for residential, industry, and commercial. A distribution transformer is also known as a typical kind of isolation transformer. The main function of this transformer is to alter the high voltage to the normal voltage like 240-120 V to use in electrical power distribution. In the distribution system, there are different kinds of transformers available like single phase, three phase, underground, pad mounted, pole mounted transformer. Okay, for load, residential load is a term which is used to describe the amount of electricity entering a resident at any given time. The amount of electricity a resident can access is typically limited by the amount of its service drop. When homes are constructed or electrical systems are renovated, an electrician must perform a number of calculations to estimate maximum residential load to determine how the system should be laid out, with the goal of preventing electrical problems caused by the overloading the system. Industrial loads consists of load demand by various industries. It includes all electrical loads used in industries along with the employed machinery. Industrial loads may be connected during the whole day. For the commercial load, it consists of electrical loads that are mean used to be commercially, such as in restaurants, shops, malls, etc. This type of loads occurs for more hours during the day as compared to the domestic load. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.